Welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics as Non-Classics. This is episode number 960 in Doubleshot number 854. Two trades. First up is the first of two volumes of the weekly series that Earth 2 had. I have reviewed the second trade already. It's been a while since I reviewed it, so yeah, it's kind of confusing why I reviewed it's kind of doing this one out of order. Yeah, but at least I have it. This is Earth 2 World's End Volume 1, collecting the first 11 issues of the series. Now, this series picks up right after Earth 2 number 25. That's pretty much where the series picks up. Those of you curious about the Earth 2 title itself, the last 7 issues of the series are essentially put tie-ins to this thing. Yep. Yeah. Apparently, this is where the series is leading to this weekly series, a 26-issue limited series. Now, there is at least 3 writers on here. You have Daniel H. Wilson, Marguerite Bennett, and Mike Johnson. These 3 are the writers. This is a long list of artists for 11 issues. You have Eddie Burrows, Eber Ferreira, Jorge Jimenez, Todd Kirkham, Joan Weems, Paulo Soria, Cam Smith, Eduardo Paniska, Jan Darusma, Jamie Meliza, Robinson Ruka, Stefan Savaga, Jason Paz, Jonathan Coppin, Drew Gorecki, Weldon Wong, Guillermo Ardo, Adrian Stuff, Sandra Hope, Danny Miki, Hi-Fi, Paul Nuri, John Livesey, Keith Campaign, Jack Herbert, and Vincent Colofsis. The cover art here is done by Adrian Stuff and Jimmy Mazzotta with Tamaru Mori. Yep. These issues basically have the introduction to several characters having their first appearances in the Earth 2 continuity. Well, in the Earth 2 universe. We see the debut of Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon, and their son John Grayson. Probably named after Dick Grayson's late father. It's a possibility. Yeah, they live in Chicago, not Gotham City. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting though they introduce him here and not in the Earth 2 title prior to this. We also see the introduction of a character that I personally wanted to see, and I talked to a couple people about this, like what Earth 2 version of what Earth 2 character like to see next. Why, how about frickin' Wildcat? And Wildcat shows up in here. Though he does wear a costume, mind you, he does play a good small role in here. He doesn't show up in the following series that comes right after this for quite some time. Yeah, I'm trying to think though. Oh yeah, we have the World Security Council, and they're all a bunch of jerks. Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, we defeated the evil Superman. War's over. We're gonna rebuild now. Despite the fact Commander Khan's like, no, that's complete bullcrap. It's not over yet. We need to shut down these damn fire pits. Yes, he really wants to up and down, but it was like, no, don't worry about that. Let's rebuild. Yes. Also, later on in these issues, Commander Khan is killed, and this one member of the Security Council tries to kill the World Army. So what does Sato do? And she's technically this world's version of Judah Master, one who was Judah Master prior to Flashpoint. You know what she does to him? Slaps him. He says, "How dare you!" And she says, "Take this man to his quarters, and make sure he stays there." Yeah. And of course, he basically barges into a room that has Al Pritt, aka the original Adam, lying on a bed basically with one arm. Yeah. One thing I appreciate though for this particular series is that the first issue actually gives a recap of the first 25 issues of Earth 2. Somewhat. They don't really explain the whole thing of Thomas Wayne being Batman. Yeah. This is Thomas Wayne, mind you. Yes, this is not Bruce Wayne. Nope. And those that be curious about these other characters. Now, prior to this, Power Girl and Huntress last appeared in World's Finest number 24. This, of course, is the World's Finest with the apostrophe on the right side of the S instead of the left side like it usually is. I'm not sure why in the world that this was a good idea for the font for this particular series. Yeah, I think it was yeah, that was actually correct. Yeah, though that was actually really supposed to be the end of that particular series, but apparently somebody at DC is like, okay, why don't we keep the house called World's Finest? Why don't we have issues featuring Batman and Superman? Though one of Earth 2 exploring their backstory, which is fine. Yeah, and those of you curious about these other characters in this cover. Now, the guy with the helmet, yes, that is Jay Garrick, though this is the Earth 2 redesign for him. Now, I did hear some complaints that people thought he was Hank Pym, that he was a Hank Pym rip based in design. I don't necessarily believe that. It's just the way his redesign looks. Alan Scott, aka the Green Lantern, who in this universe is gay. Yep, he is gay. Oh yeah, and his dead boyfriend shows up in here, and he's the Avatar of the White. Yeah, but apparently Alan Scott, who was the Green Lantern, he basically is his world version. He's basically the champion of the Green, which on Earth Prime it's Swamp Thing. Yeah, and Solomon Grundy appears in here. And by the way, Grundy is completely different than how he's normally depicted. Like, my gosh, they dramatically altered his design for this continuity. I mean, yeah, it is Solomon Grundy, but man, oh man, they really heavily altered this guy. Like, my gosh, wow. It's like, sweet Jesus, like, I'm not sure why in the world. Now, this was James Robinson who did this, not Tom Taylor. This was James Robinson. hmm Let's see if I can find him in here. Yeah, I should point out that the Earth 2 trades that collect the Earth 2 series, despite the fact Solomon Grundy did have a one-shot, here's the weird thing about the trade series for it. Yeah, for some reason, I have no idea why in the world this was, they decided not to include the Solomon Grundy one-shot in the actual trades for the Earth 2 trade series. I don't know why. Solomon Grundy is a character associated with this particular series. The Sod himself has nothing to do with it. Okay, here is Solomon Grundy. Yes, this apparently is Cyrus Gold. Not kidding, this is seriously him. I mean, yeah, he's different, but at least he acts like Grundy, and he at least speaks like Grundy, despite the fact he's got a different appearance. Oh yeah, and they had to find Avatar Blue, which is nobody had recognized. The Avatar of the Red, they have him. They have this particular person here. Now in Prime Earth, it is Anno Man who's the Avatar of the Red. In this world, it's the third Wildcat, who happens to be Wildcat's goddaughter. She is the Avatar of the Red in this world. Yep. And the thing with the Huntress here, despite the fact design-wise, it kind of looks like the Helen Bertinelli Huntress. She did assume the identity of Helen Bertinelli in her own miniseries. They introduced the character, and it was revealed that nope, it wasn't actually Helen Bertinelli, but actually Helena Wayne. Yeah, it was assumed that Helen Bertinelli had been dead for years, but Tom King and Tim Seeley retconned that to where she's actually alive, and then later on she became a supporting character in the Grayson title. Before, when that's how it ended, she got moved to Birds of Prey, and she has since popped up in the final arc of Constantine, well, the Hellblade title, and that's all I'll say for this character. In the case of this character, she has met Damian Wayne, her not brother. Yeah, they have met, and she has met the Prime Earth version of Batman and Superman in that First Contact crossover. Yep. Now, okay, okay. You probably think, okay, who is the black guy standing behind Batman? That's a guy called Val Zod. He is this world's Superman, the second one. And no, it's not confirmed if he's related to General Zod, despite his name, Zod. His name is Val Zod. Yeah, he's his world's Superman. Yeah, it's never confirmed if he's related to General Zod. He's just a Kryptonian who just happened to be Power Girl's boyfriend. Despite the fact that in the Mr. Terrific tale which introduced Power Girl to this current continuity, they had it where Power Girl was dating Mr. Terrific. Oh, by the way, when Mr. Terrific popped up in this series, when he popped up in Earth 2, and here's the thing, he has barely interaction with Power Girl, and this woman was supposed to be his girlfriend. As far as I know, like as far as I remember, they never broke up. They just basically just that the relationship is pretty much ignored. Yeah, that's the weird thing. Yes, in the Mr. Terrific title, they made basically Kira Zor-El Earth 2, aka Power Girl, who was originally Supergirl of this world, they made her Mr. Terrific's girlfriend. After the end of Mr. Terrific title, she got moved to World's Finest, and he got moved to Earth 2. That was explained in DC Universe Repentance number 0 of how the heck it got there. Yeah, and by the time we count the Power Girls her again in this title, their relationship is never mentioned at all. Nope, never is. It is virtually ignored for some strange reason. I have no idea why this is. It is particularly very bizarre. Also, Helena does interact with her grandfather barely in these issues. They'll interact more on later. They're asking where Oliver Queen is. Yeah, Oliver Queen in this world is Red Arrow. Yeah, there was a Green Arrow in this world, and it was Connor Hawke, aka Green Arrow's son. He died. Yep, he got killed by the evil Superman, who tried to be this world's version of Darkseid. We also see this world's version of Mr. Miracle and Big Barda. There's also a named Fury in here. Now, her mother is definitely Wonder Woman, just like the way it was in the original pre-Crisis stuff. Her father is not Steve Trevor. No, her father is Darkseid's uncle, Steppenwolf. Now, this has gone a bit of confusion over the past several years, since Steppenwolf also appeared in the first arc for Justice League, and he got killed off by the evil Superman at the end of James Robinson's run of Earth 2. It's unconfirmed if he's actually from Earth 1. It's just that he's probably this world's version of him. And also, Darkseid shows up in here for some reason, despite the fact he also appears. And this is the same design he actually has in Prime Earth. As for if this is a different version of him, it's never confirmed. Yeah, and Apocalypse just shows up here. There's also an issue of Earth 2 that actually has Dr. Fate going on a plundering mission to rob Apocalypse of his riches. Yep, that's basically just it. Yep. We also have John Constantine show up in here. Yeah, I'm not sure what was the whole purpose of this at all, having him in the book. If I think, okay, we need somebody magical aside from Dr. Fate show up in here, so why not have John Constantine? Okay. And then him freeing like a few superhumans. Like, I should point out the people he frees are actually creations of, believe it or not, Roy Thomas. Basically, freeing a few people who are associated with the Infinity Inc. series. Also, there's no Aquaman in this series. Yeah, in this universe, he is never mentioned. It's unknown habitat. Mira is the Queen of Atlantis in this reality. Yeah. Also, Lois Lane was brought back as Red Tornado. Yeah, that's what happened with her. Yeah, that was revealed in the actual Earth 2 title. That's what happened. Yeah, and oh yeah, here is Ted Grant of Earth 2. This is his first appearance, basically punching a guy in the face. Yeah, all because basically Bob were going to form a protection squad to prevent people from stealing other people's rations. There's one other character appears in here. Those of you who know who this character is, this guy is Robert Crane, aka the Robot. Yeah, his real name is Robert Grayson, and here's kind of the weird thing: he is not related to Dick Grayson at all. And even in the original continuity, he had a completely different look than this. Yeah, because he's a genius, so he wants to keep his brain around, despite the fact that, well, you know, he doesn't want to die, so he transfers his brain because he's a freaking genius. Okay, here are the people who John Constantine frees from the Arkham base, which says here in the Lost Lands of Gotham. Yeah, Gotham has pretty much was destroyed during issue 1. Here are the people he frees: Henry King Jr., Brainwave, the second one. He's a Roy Thomas creation. Todd Race, Obsidian, who happens to be, believe it or not, in pre-Flashpoint, this guy was Green. This was Alan Scott's son, though. In this series, they made him black for some reason. We have Joni Thunder. Yes, this woman had miniseries in the 80s, also written by Roy Thomas. I believe she's also a creation of Roy Thomas. Then we have Carnival, a character who the writers of this series made a racist. So, because of the fact that he has a problem with Obsidian, like he's the wrong color, so John Connor's like, okay, like it's implied in this panel he's going to shoot Obsidian. Nope, he shoots the racist instead. As for why he did this, no idea. Also, I do have an interesting question, though, about this Arkham base. Who the hell has actually kept this Arkham base? Because the only people actually revealed prior to this be kept there is the Joker, who got killed by Batman. Let's see, I'm trying to think who else was kept there. We have Mira and Jimmy Olsen, who in this world was the Accountable. Basically, the world's most brilliant architect. Oh, yeah, and also for some reason, in this series, they have us where Big Bart and the Fury. Apparently, it's implied that the way that the writers basically wrote, some of the people like wrote Terry Stallone, who probably was evil in this world. Yeah, it's implied that they're Mr. Miracle's girlfriends. Yeah, and the whole thing, Mr. Miracle being here, this also caused a bit of confusion. Now, this is Earth 2, Mr. Miracle, despite the fact not long after this, in Darkseid War, we had Mr. Miracle show up there. That's probably the Prime Earth version, though it's not been fully confirmed, though they have Big Bart to show up there as well. Yep. We also Darkseid freed from something. It's never thoroughly explained. That's the weird thing with the series. They explain Apocalypse apparently attacked the world 5 years prior, and then when they show Darkseid, he looks like the way that he basically, the artist gave him basically the design Jim Lee gave him back in 2011. Yeah. But these issues are good. I like the storyline where it goes, and when this series ends, it actually leads into Convergence. Give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Also, I gotta point this out that originally her price for this thing was like $30. I got this for $6. Next up we have Earth 2 Society, the series that came right after Convergence. Of course, this led into Convergence. This came right afterwards. In Convergence, Thomas Wayne died, and Dick Grayson became the new Batman. Obviously. Though, I should point out, though, the costume he wears. Yeah. Also, they have Clark Kent shows up in this series, I forgot to mention. The actual Clark Kent, not the other one. He's going to be alive, then he actually later on dies, though his cloak is given to Lois briefly, and then Power Girl basically takes up the S. Yep. Now, this is written by Daniel H. Wilson, one of the writers of Earth 2 World's End. We have Jorge Jimenez, one of the artists of Earth 2 World's End, and Allison Borges, I think you pronounce it. Oh, I forgot to mention, they have 4 people who are kind of basically the 4 horse people of Apocalypse. One of them is a Thanagarian. As for who this woman is, it's implied it might be a male version of Starfire, but it's never confirmed. Yeah, I think this is the only series they appear in. Now, in the case of this particular set of issues, okay, now during Future's End, it was revealed that the Earth 2 ships went to Prime Earth and created a bunch of havoc for Earth Prime. At the end of Convergence, they were redirected to basically the planet Telos, where Convergence took place. Yeah, a planet that's basically an artificial planet. So, they had the ships crash, despite the fact they had a small number of the surviving population, which was revealed at the end of Earth 2 Society. About 90% of the population survived. The 10% of the surviving population died. Yep. So, basically, in this series, we have it's where also our man makes his first appearance here. Rick Tyler makes his first appearance in this world, and his costume is a slight redesign from his classic look. Yeah, it's a slight redesign. Also, Power Girl's outfit looks like this. It's no longer the boob window that she's known for having. Kendra basically got a slight redesign for her outfit. Jay Garrick is probably the only person, along with Val Zod, who did not change their outfit once they moved to Earth 2. Oh yeah, and Jimmy also became Doctor Accountable. Yeah, it, though Flash did slightly alter his attire, though Huntress kept pretty much the same outfit she's known for wearing. Yeah, no change for her outfit though. I think Flash did change his. Let's see here. Oh yeah, apparently Green Lantern in here just become a. He gets a slight redesign though he keeps the lantern pretty much the same. His mask paint's pretty much the same as well. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find a good picture here. Oh yeah. Uh, Also during the Adventures of Convergence, Dick Grayson's legs basically he got injured during Convergence, so basically he's got prosthetics. Yep. Let's see if I can find him here. Let's see. I think. Oh yeah, this series also has these issues also have a slight problem with them. I kind of thought that the trade will fix this problem. Yet in the middle of every single issue, we have a flashback. Picking up right at the end of Convergence, of course, this series takes place. The present day stuff takes place a year after the events of Convergence, where the whole world is basically building like cities, like New Gotham, which apparently is the capital. So they apparently have 5 cities: in New Acropolis, New Midway City, stuff like that. Yeah. They raised his outfit for some reason. I'm not sure why when he became Batman. They decided to give him a sort of a yellowish suit, and, well, here's a more close look at the outfit. Yeah, it's an odd redesign. Yes. But, oh yeah, and also the Mirror gets destroyed in Earth 2. Yeah, Green Arrow shows up in here. Red Arrow. I have no idea why he called himself that, but that's what he basically calls himself. Let's see if we can find him here. Yes. The character known as Rex Tyler, who apparently is an ally of, believe it or not, Dr. Impossible, aka Jimmy Olsen. Oh yeah, apparently this world does not have a sun, like a yellow sun, so basically Val Zod is depowered. And because of the fact that, well, he and Power Girl basically had disagreement, they basically broke up. Okay, here is the redesign they gave. Well, here's what the costume looks like for Our Man. Yeah, we also have version of Anarchy in here. And no, this is not Lonnie Lincoln. This is somebody else. Yeah, some unknown person. It's one of 3. It's the 3rd Anarchy has showed up since the reboot happened. First, you have actually, it's the 4th one, though it's 4th one overall because the first one showed up an issue of Green Lantern Corps as part of a tie-in to Zero Year. That was the first one. The second one came like not long after, like less than a year later, in the pages of Detective Comics, was revealed to be a politician. And then you have this woman, and then you have the actual Anarchy put on the costume. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Impossible wanted to change stuff for this world, so he gets defeated and gets imprisoned. As where he goes, no idea. Also, Daniel Wilson leaves the title after these issues. Yep, of course, this contains the first 7 issues of this title, plus, of course, a sneak peek for the sneak peek for the first issue. Yeah. When the series ended after 20 issues, by the way, I should point out though, this series was still publishing. This Webback Rebirth already happened. Yeah. Despite like everything else that had been relaunched or ended, this series still continued for a little while. Though it was basically DC's way of doing a new take on the JSA. This, of course, is okay. It's pretty good. Not as good as some of the other stuff of Earth 2, but the book does get better after this. Give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, they actually do cut out the flashback stuff. They don't have any more flashbacks at all. If they did, put it as a backup feature. Don't put it as the main thing. Yeah. But, excuse me, this is actually a problem I had with this sound Aquaman, which is my Colin Bunn, where they have like a flash forward to Aquaman and his outfit he wears in the covers, not the regular one he wears in present day stuff. Yeah, they go back and forth in time. This book, I kind of thought they would fix that by having it sort of like a in the back, but no, they have a part of the story. Of course, anybody who reads this series probably going to understand this slight problem with it. I'm not sure why Daniel H. Wilson basically left, and this is one of 2 series I've seen where the original writer leaves the series and Dan Abnett takes over. As a matter of fact, it actually happened just recently, as of last year, where Josh Williams left Justice League Odyssey after 5 issues, and then have Dan Abnett take over the series with issue 6. Yep. So yeah, not much else to say, but 2 pretty good titles. Yeah. So next episode, when I get a chance to do, it will be an Avengers trade reviewing, plus a trade from Hanna-Barbera. Yep. You'll find what they are when I get a chance to, finish reading the 2 books, okay? See you next review. Bye.